Omni Edition Sports presents from Garden City High School in Garden City, Michigan. This is Cougar football. Tonight, the Cougars take on the Trojans from Livonia, Clarenceville. Hello and welcome. I'm Evan Chapman alongside Ted Fournier. Oh, geez, oh, Pete, we're off to a good start, Ted. The Trojans come in 0-3 on the season. Garden City is 2-1, 2-0 in the division, and looking a very formidable opponent. Ted, how do you think the Garden City is going to do today against the Trojans?
Well, this is going to be a telling game because of some of the opponents that they've already played. Redford Union's not an extremely difficult opponent, and Annapolis is in and out. You never know where they're going to come from. I know Annapolis lost a big in their opening game, so this is a telling game. An 0-3 Clarenceville. The real opportunity here for Garden City is to get their third victory, which would be halfway to being playoff eligible, and so this is an important game. You got to beat the teams you should beat, and this is a game Garden City should win.
Certainly, and Garden City already 2-0 in the division, beating Redford Union and Annapolis in Western Wayne Red Division. That's what it is, Red. And we'll see how they fare against this 0-3 Livonia Clarenceville team, which certainly from a small school, obviously Livonia Clarenceville, not a huge attendance there, but they're able to field about 32 players for their football team. Here's the kick. That's Johnson. The kick, one bounce to the returner here, up to the 20, and bottled up there by Garden City. Nowhere to go. That's Jermel Johnson with the return, the senior, 6'1", 168. Big kid.
Johnson got absolutely no support. The blockers for Clarenceville just let the blue tide go right through him, and he, as soon as he picked up the ball, he was in trouble. Watching Clarenceville start warming up, they look like they'll come out of the veer. They'll run some eye under center, some pistol, some shotgun, some three receivers on either side. So whatever Coach Fry wants to call here, we'll see, Evan.
And Jonathan Hogan is their senior quarterback, going to be under center here. Takes a snap, hands it off to the second back, and he dives forward for about 2 yards, maybe 3, if you're generous. That was number
Hill on the carry. Ran out to the left side of the formation, simple I formation play, gets a lead blocker, and picked up the announcer here. We're going to have to go with our boss, Dan. He said that he got 4, so it's 2nd and 6.
Okay, 2nd and 6 then for the Trojans. Hogan under center, hands it off to the up back, able to get a first down there, all the way down to about the 33, and that's Reese Santoy with the carry. He's another senior, and he's the fullback for the Trojans.
Got good surge. He started right up the middle, right over where the nose guard was, and got good surge and got the first down.
Hogan up under center. Garden City looking for the run, and they'll get it. That's Hill once again, able to dive forward for about 3.
Stephen Fox, number 40, stuck his nose in there and made the initial hit. He got some help by the rest of his teammates after that, but he was the first one to plug up that hole.
And it looks like Garden City is going to be playing the run for the most part against this Trojan offense. A lot of guys stacked up in the box, not expecting them, I don't think, to throw. Well, they only have 2 wide receivers on the field. Hogan will take the snap, hand it off to the up back once again, and he is bottled up quick. That's Santoy.
Met in the backfield. I'm trying to get the number of the first gentleman that got him. He's getting congratulated. I think it was big number 99.
That's Johnson, who also we saw kick the ball off at the beginning of the game, and he also plays some running back as well as a tight end for the Garden City offense.
You were talking about the men in the box. Well, Garden City had 10.5 in the box that time.
10.5.
One guy straddling, and I think they got all 11 in the box right now.
Oh, yes. Like I said, looks like they're going to be playing the run. And there's a flag, and looks like a false start on Livonia Clarenceville. So that's 5 yards. They're going to march them back. And it is third down. It was third down and 7. Now we're going to move on to a third down and 12. Tough to convert. Able to run it up the middle. You know, they've had a little bit of success so far, but maybe you have to throw the ball here.
Clarenceville, a once proud program, decade back or maybe 15 years back, the home program from NFL or Tim Shaw, who we'll talk about a little later, out of the pistol this time.
Yeah, they got 3 wide receivers in the field and 2. And Hogan under pressure, able to get taken down. I saw number 70 for Garden City get part of that tackle. That's Jacob Gass, the junior, as well as somebody else got their nose in there. I didn't quite catch who it was, but it'll be fourth down and 11.
Garden City's having absolutely no trouble shredding that offensive line. The offensive line for Livonia is stocky, but not very tall and not very big. And Garden City's just running right through. And
it'll be Cardoza to punt the ball to Garden City. And it's a high snap, and it's over his head, and he runs back to get it, tries to get the punt off, gets a little bouncing squib-type punt, and it'll stop at about the 43. So bad snap does not do any favors for this Livonia Clarenceville and football team. And Cardoza able to get it away at least. He didn't end up with it, you know, getting a safety or getting it grabbed by Garden City.
Well, he picked that ball up inside the 5. He took one step to his left and then gave you one of those late night New Zealand rugby kicks, and it got out over the 40. So actually, you give him credit because they're 35, 37 yards farther down the field than they could have been, and great play by the punter.
Yeah, way to get a handle on that. Now we got Kyler Hubbs under center, and he surges forward on the keeper.
I don't know how much. Watch the punt here. You'll see him. It was over his head, and he picks it up on the 5, and then he takes that step toward his own sideline and sidewinds it, and he gets it out to the 43, which is 38 yards or 35 yards from where he hit it. Picked it up.
Hubbs hands off to Seegers there. Is able to get. Maybe he lost a yard or 2. We're going to call that 3rd and 7. And I'm listening to Dan York too over here. Our boss doing PA.
69 looked a little shaken up, maybe his hand or something, the left tackle for Garden City.
Hubbs pitches it to Seegers, and he able to snake his way almost to a first down. That'll be probably just about a yard short of the first.
Good verb there. He did snake it. He went left, right, left, and he got through there. He snuck through it.
4th and 1, and Hubbs surges forward. Looks like he's got it on the keeper. And Garden City's line really doing the job there, getting a good push so they can get that first down on 4th and 1. So new set of downs for Garden City. Still 0-0 here in the first half.
Garden City has England at the center, and they've run right behind him twice. Campbell and Edney are at the guards, and Haley and Asensio at the tackles. And those, look, everybody's tight. I mean, there's nobody split out.
And Hubbs hands this one off to number 44, Gian Grande, the sophomore for Garden City.
Gian Grande just gets surrounded by that offensive line, and they wind up about 7 yards or 6.5 yards down. Look at that. Nobody is split out in an I formation, and they're just surrounding the back and just going forward.
Hubbs hands it off there. And it's almost as if they're just daring Clarenceville to stop them. Just stop us on the run.
Well, if you match offensive versus defensive line, yeah, the big uglies for Garden City are just going to take Clarenceville down the field here. It's a mismatch at every position. Well, tight ends are in. They're playing with 3 tight ends.
This is about as big as a big set you can get. Hubbs takes the snap here, fakes the handoff, and a little pitch and fumbled. I don't know. I'd say that was never really handled there on the outside. I didn't quite catch who was that.
Well, it was really a bad pitch. Hubbs did not use right technique on that. Pitched it. It was actually a forward pass. It was in front of him, and it just was bad technique all the way around. He did not. He kind of just pushed it with his right hand, and you know, I'm sure that'll be coached on Monday.
Oh, certainly get in the film room and check it out. That was to Seegers, and he was unable to come up with it. 4th and 3 here, and Garden City is going for it. Pitch out to Seegers, and once again cannot come up with the
That was
exchange.
behind him. That was behind him.
Yeah.
The first one was in front of him, and trying to get a little fancy, and they stopped themselves. Do not, you know, I would not give credit to Clarenceville on that. That was mishandling the ball twice in a row. One shoved down low and in front of the ball carrier, and that one behind him. And you cannot stop a ball carrier's momentum and expect him to pick up yardage.
Garden City turns over on downs. Hogan for Clarenceville take the snap. They got 3 wide now, which is something we did not see on their first series but once. It looks like Hogan to pass, heaves it up on a little post route, overthrows his intended receiver. That's number 3, Elijah Bean.
Elijah Bean was about 2 steps slow on that. He was behind the secondary by a step, but if that ball was 2 steps further on down the field, and make a note of that, they'll probably go back to that at some point.
He had a little space there to maybe make something happen, maybe a step on his the cornerback covering him. Hogan looks like he's about to throw again.
They left early. The right fullback, I think.
Dead ball foul. False start on the offense. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. Replay down.
Now, I want you to look at this, Evan. When the defense gets set up, that long pass has moved the safety back already for Garden City and opened up a little space between the line and the linebackers. And that pass might have been just a purpose pass to open up some running room.
And
watch the safety is definitely farther back on that last play than he had been.
That safety is number 6, Nick Clark, although now he's going to cover the slot receiver. And Hogan back, 4 receivers split out, 1 wide, 1 next to him, or 1 running back next to him. Hogan going to pass, throws it, it's got it complete. That's once again number 3, Bean, able to get the first down for Livonia Clarenceville. Nice pass on a nice route. And the thing I noticed right there, and I don't know if you saw this, Phil, or excuse me, Ted. Last game I called was with Phil. I don't know if you noticed, but he looked off his first
he looked
target.
Off it, and he just ran somebody underneath. The linebackers were backed up another couple steps. The safety, like you noted, was in the slot, Clark, and there was an underneath opening, and he hit that perfectly.
And here Hogan hands off up the middle, and they're able to get 2 yards, I think I'll say, and that's number 22, James Hill, on the carry.
40, Stephen Fox, who's on the bottom of that pile again.
I think he's got a bit of a nose for the ball there. He seems to be around it a lot. And Garden City getting set up. Looks like we got trips on the left side here. Hogan with the keeper runs up the middle, off left tackle. Flag is thrown.
Flag thrown in right in the pile. Usually is a hold.
Yeah, that would be my guess as well, Ted. And we're going to hear from our referee.
Holding on the offense.
Now, it is a hold. Don't we look like psychics?
Well, you know, as old as me and have seen 800 football games on this field alone.
Yeah, that'll give you a little insight for sure.
There have been games where there was flags on every play.
Holding on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
There was flags on every special teams play. It was just special teams play. It was really strange. Hogan comes back to the line. They've got 2nd and 15 here to go.
Everybody's in the box.
Got a couple guys split out wide. Looks like it might be a screen. Hogan in trouble. Hogan taken down. That's a sack for Garden City on already a long 2nd down. Now it's going to be 3rd and almost 25.
Well, the first down marker is on the 47 and a half Garden City side of the 50, but the ball is right now on the 31. Hogan's mistake there is he went and cocked his arm, and he should have got rid of it. Either thrown it to his receiver or thrown it away. But as soon as he pulled the ball down, most of the Garden City defense was holding a team meeting there.
Even at 3rd and 21, Garden City playing close to the line of scrimmage. Hogan take the snap, throws it immediately.
Little bubble screen that was incomplete, and the ball hits the ground. Garden City picks it up. There's no whistle, and it could be a touchdown.
It's got to be. They must have said that was a backwards pass instead of a forwards pass, and that's a touchdown for the Cougars.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to see you're not going to see 18 different sides of that. They were trying to throw the old bubble screen where they have 3 receivers, somebody backs up, gets the ball, and that went behind them. And as soon as it got behind them, that's a lateral, Evan, and that's 6 points.
Yeah, and that pass was intended for Kubiak, and Rayburn for Garden City was able to pick it up, showing good presence of mind. Didn't hear a whistle. You know, you play till you hear the echo of the whistle, I've been told. And picked it up, ran it in, and that's 6 points for Garden City. And here comes Alexandra Sherlock to make the kick. Here the extra point. She is kicking today for Garden City. Their normal kicker, Nick Schroeder, not here, plays for the varsity football team, and that one's good. Once again, Nick Schroeder not here today, plays for the varsity soccer team, and he's off playing soccer. They had a game tonight, so Alexandra Sherlock fills in, and she's going to be doing the field goals into the extra points here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen history, I think. That's the first point in the history of Garden City football scored by a female, and I think we ought to mark the tape. And 30 years from now, when they do the 60th year compilation of Garden City sports, that'll be on the tape.
Oh, yeah. And here we see the head coach, Scott Murray, talking to his guys, getting a little huddle, letting them know what he's expecting of them. And Garden City come out here to kick the field goal. I don't think I would have guessed, or kick the ball off. I don't think I would have guessed that the first points in this game were scored by a defense. That would not have been my suspicion.
Well, so far, if you go back in each drive, a penalty stopped Clarenceville in the first drive. Bad execution of bad execution in the backfield for Garden City stopped them, and a turnover stopped Clarenceville the next time they had the ball. So the defenses really haven't stopped anybody.
Johnson kicks that one off straight to Hogan, and he was an up back there on the kickoff, but he managed to handle the ball and carry it up for a few yards.
And the ball came loose, and number 3 Bean fell on it. But this could be an exciting game. Both offenses are not clicking yet, and they're stopping themselves.
Yeah, it's been a couple of I mean, they've had sacks. You know, there's been a couple penalties, bad exchanges on Garden City's part. Let's see what they got for us in this series. Hogan to take the pistol snap. He hands it off to number 22. That's Hill, and able to push the pile. Oh, the ball comes out. Garden City football. Oh my gosh. Good play. Able to knock the ball away. Pick it up. That's number 2 for Garden City. Rayburn all over the place. That's the second fumble he's picked up. We got a replay of that too.
That Garden City, the surge, the offensive line kept pushing. And sometimes when you got all you can out of the play, hit the ground because everybody's in there grabbing at the ball, trying to rip it out. And that play, the longer you stood up, the longer Garden City had a time to rip that ball out of there.
And now Hubbs comes back to work for Garden City, able to gain, it's about 7 on that one, so that'll make it 2nd and 3 after getting the turnover. Like I said already, Rayburn, sophomore for Garden City, 2 huge plays by that underclassman.
Garden City hasn't had to show anything. They are just in that big full house backfield, and everybody's crumbled up, and there's another handoff off the tackle.
There's Seeger, and he's able to dodge at least one tackle and dive for at least 2 yards. So it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 1 here. Garden City is still just sticking with this big package.
And watch the hurry up. Everybody faces the sideline. They get to play. They're not even huddling up. That way, Clarenceville can't change their personnel.
Hubbs takes that one through a big hole and able to get the first down, gain of about 5.
Well, if they continue to play like this, watch, look at that, Evan. Everybody's facing the sidelines. We're going to get a couple substitutions in here, but everybody's facing the sidelines. There is no huddle. Big number 77 is going to get over the ball here, and they're ready to go.
Now they got a couple of wide receivers out there. That's Spizak and Whitfield lined up wide, as well as somebody on the opposite side who I cannot see from here. Hubbs, oh, that's Seeger. Hubbs fakes the handoff, a little option play, and runs it forward for 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Garden City.
72 for Clarenceville, a little slow getting up. But yeah, he just handed the ball off, faked the handoff. There's a hole there. The first runner goes through, and he follows him through the hole.
Now that's a pretty textbook option play. Follow your blockers. Take the lane that's the easiest. And once again, getting a sign from the sidelines. Now we got number 81 for Garden City coming in to play wide out. That's Tinsley.
Well, this is as wide open as the Garden City offense has been. They haven't split anybody out until now.
The handoff's up the middle to number 44, Gian Grande. And he's able to dive forward for about 4.
Well, take a good look at those big numbers there, 52, 69, 77, 75, and 74. Those are some big boys. And they are literally looking, give us the play, we want to go hit these guys.
Yeah.
Watch them, they're going to just create big amounts. The back is not even being touched until he gets 3-4 yards.
Well, that's how you hope to draw it up. Hubbs picks that one up and throws an interception across the field. Wide receiver wasn't even looking, and he throws it right into the arms of the Clarenceville player. That's number 81 for Clarenceville, Jermel Johnson, the senior free safety and cornerback for the Trojans.
77, England's going to turn around and tell Hubbs, you hike the ball, because the last 2 drives, you have put the ball in the wrong spot. And that was right to the corner. The corner didn't even have to move.
No.
It was Merry Christmas, there's the ball. And
it's a couple months early.
Once again, offense is stopping themselves.
And here's Hogan to throw. Gets the pass off. Does not complete it to Bean. Unable to hang on to that one. Garden City.
Mitchum was covering on that.
Brandon Mitchum, the junior for Garden City. Hogan still with this trips look that they've been going with a little bit. Hogan takes the snap, and he's going to keep it, running off the right tackle, but he is stuffed for looks like no gain there on 2nd down. So it'll be 3rd and 10, and this will be an interesting play because Clarenceville hasn't been able to, they've gotten 1 first down by my count so far.
Nick DeHater on the tackle. Watch Hogan on the quarterback. He's got his right foot forward, and he's almost facing his sideline. Most of his skilled players are to his right hand, but he's facing the left side of the the field there. Watch, he's got a unique stance there in the shotgun. He's almost giving away which way he wants to go.
And the quarter will expire right there. You can hear the gun hopefully picked up on our microphones, or otherwise I'm just lying. But that'll be the end of the quarter. What have you seen so far, Ted, that makes you hopeful or what have you about Garden City's chances here? They've played
I'll
pretty
tell you what I haven't
ball.
seen. They've played sloppy ball. A couple fumble recoveries. Clarenceville, an 0-3 team, usually 0-3 teams give you a lot of opportunities to pick up turnovers. But I have not been impressed with the ball handling by the quarterback Hubbs. on 3 plays that have been significant. 2 pitch outs. One was low and in front of the ball carrier. The other one was behind him. And then on the one pass, a little slant cut where the receiver takes 2 steps, looks inside. He led him too much, and he threw the ball right to the corner. And so Garden City has really stopped themselves. You know, I'm not taking anything away from Clarenceville, but the offense has really shot themselves in the foot.
And a couple of tough plays with Hubs, you know, unable to connect a few times, and that'll hurt you. But they do have the offense or the defensive score, so they are up 7-0 here. And here comes Hogan.
A little indecisive, and you can't do that against this mismatch on the trenches.
Yeah, and Hogan is dragged down. There's a fumble, which I didn't see. The fumble here. Okay. My director's talking in my ear and telling me wrong information. Excuse me, everybody that's listening.
Well, Evan, as you get more and more into the profession here, you'll find out that you never listen to the directors.
I'm sure Gibby's happy to hear that.
There's a reason they hide directors in the truck.
Yeah, that's right. We're up here talking. Oh, gosh. Oh, okay. Hogan, and he does have that interesting stance right now. You can see
that? See that stance?
Oh, I guess he's up back. That was 4th down, and they're punting. Back to number 5 for Garden City. That's Mitchum, and he's able to take it back to about the 41 of Clarenceville. So Garden City with pretty darn good field position here after the punt, and let's see if they can get something going.
Well, Garden City's had great field position this whole game. The line, they have played very conservatively. Let's see if they open it up here, and it looks like they're in that spread formation, 4 receivers.
And that's Hubs just running it straight up the middle for 10. That's a good gain there for Garden City. Very close to the first down. And they are giving him the first down. Okay. 1st and 10 now for Garden City. Still split out with those 4 wide receivers, 1 running back. And they're trying to run it up the middle again, and it just gets stuffed.
Very interesting formation. There's 4 receivers, but 2 of them are slot receivers. And at some point, Garden City's going to run a veer formation with the 1 back and 2 backs right off of the line of scrimmage. And these 2 backs are spread out a little further than normal. So there's 4 receivers. It's kind of like a modified veer here.
And Hubs takes a snap, fakes the handoff, and reverses it around the end, able to get to the 10. Ooh, and he just gets dragged down there at the 10-yard line. For a second, I thought he was going to go after he broke that first tackle. And that'll be a first down for Garden City.
Well, Hubs has proved the best play for Garden City is him touching the ball. They started the game with a quarterback sneak, and every time he touches the ball, runs it, good things happen.
And he has had most of the touches today. Hubs hands it off up the middle. Number 44, Gian Grande, able to rumble his way down to the 1-yard line.
Great shot from our camera in the end zone right there, showing Gian Grande. But yeah, you'll see. Look at the big lines taking their thing. They kind of look at their counterparts in Clarenceville and just say, "Hey, we're coming after you."
And Hubs takes it himself, dives and gets the touchdown for Garden City. 6 points, put it on the board. Kyler Hubs once again just playing that same dive play right up the middle, and able to get the score.
We're talking 1930s football here. No need to do anything fancy. Get the big guys up front knocking heads, and when you have that, if you have an advantage on the line of scrimmage, take it.
And once again, it'll be Alexandra Sherlock to kick the extra point. She made the first one. We will be witnessing here history again. There it is. It's up and it's good. That's history. That's the second point that a girl has scored in Garden City history.
Well, you can't knock, I think she's a soccer player, right?
I'm sure.
You can't knock Coach Zapula's soccer team last. These young ladies went the furthest Garden City team has ever gone in the districts and regionals last year, and one of their own is sitting on the field in a football uniform scoring extra points.
Yeah, and I've gotten the chance to call 2 of their soccer games. I watched them play twice, win twice, once against Dearborn and once against Detroit Renaissance. No, Belleville, Southgate, I can't remember. But it is fun to watch them. They do a very good job, and I'm always impressed by how talented their team is. They've got a few players. One that I would like to mention right now is Yankaski. Very talented young lady. She was a sophomore when I first saw her. Junior this past year. She'll be coming up to her senior season. Very talented young lady, and fast too. Amazing speed. Anyway, Garden City going to kick it off. It's Cody Johnson take the kick. And this one's up and deep. Clarenceville able to wrangle it there and get up to the 35, maybe the 34-yard line, and they'll take over 1st and 10 for Clarenceville.
Well, Clarenceville has not found their identity tonight on the field here as far as the offense goes. They've tried a couple passes, completed one underneath. I think they've got 2 first downs so far, but they've had a number of fumbles. They've stopped themselves, and one of the fumbles turned into 6 points. So they need to get something going here, and Hogan's going under center here.
And we have a flag on the play. Not sure what this is about.
Dead ball foul on the offense. Failure to wheel required equipment prior to the snap. That is a 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
All right, it's an equipment penalty.
Somebody not have their chin strap strapped or something?
Chin strap or mouth guard or...
Well, I mean, that's a penalty all for player safety. Don't want them out there with their equipment undone. You know, you don't want any of these kids to get hurt. And Hogan under center. Takes the snap, hands it off. That's Hill, number 22, and he's able to get back that penalty yardage and more down at about the 43.
Hill's a tall young man. He's kind of lanky, runs that with a kind of like an Eddie George stand-up run, and got a nice run there. One of the better, you know, the first drive that Clarenceville had, they stopped themselves with a penalty. Under center again, Evan.
Santoy and Hill in the backfield. Hogan hands it off to Hill again, and he's able to get a couple. And they list here, I got Hill listed here at 6'1", 215. So that's a big kid.
Number 70 fell to the ground there, Jacob Gass, and he reached out a hand and tripped uphill as he went by him.
Good heads-up play there. Able to get the shoestring tackle. And now it's 3rd and 5 for Clarenceville. And I have to feel that this is a big moment in the game. Certainly could use this 1st down. A little bit of motion. Hogan takes it, pitches it to Hill, able to barrel his way. Wow, lowers the shoulder to get the 1st down. Able to get up across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
Interesting defense there for Garden City as they had 3 down linemen, 5 linebackers. So it was kind of like a 5-3 or a modified 4-3, but they only had 3 people with their hands on the ground. I've seen Scott Murray running off a defense with all 11 standing up. Once again, he's got 3 down.
Be interesting to see how they're able to cope with this. Seems like the surge that they're giving Hill. And here he goes outside. He got 1 man to beat. 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5 touchdown for the Livonia Clarenceville Trojans. And that was he just outran everybody there.
Well, basically the outside linebacker on that side went inside, and once he vacated his responsibility, Hill got to the outside, and there was once he got to the outside, nobody was going to catch him. He had them beat all the way. So a miscue, misassignment on the defense, on that 3-5 defense. You still have to stay home, and Clarenceville took advantage on that.
Oh, certainly. Able to get outside. Here's the extra point for Clarenceville. Kicked. It's good. And that's number 23, Fife, the senior kicker for Clarenceville, able to put it through the uprights.
The last thing you want to do is give somebody when they're down an opportunity, and I think they're going to look at the film, and the coaches
72.
certainly have seen that up here. But
No, 72.
they ran a 5-3 defense, and I don't know if we're going to see this, but the outside linebacker committed inside. And once he vacated, instead of going up the field and containing, he went inside. Hill beat him to the outside and got some good blocking. But once he got 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, he was gone.
Yeah, that was, I just turned the corner and just turned on the jets and able to outrun everybody. Very impressive. Certainly been a bright spot today for Clarenceville. It has been James Hill. And
well, you saw what they did there, Evan. They just put the quarterback, instead of that shotgun or pistol look, they went right under center and said, okay, we're going to try to just, and they went off left and right, the corners. They didn't run anything up the middle. They just think, we got speed, we can beat you outside. And at that time, they were successful.
Yep. And here's Fife with the kickoff. Chip shot back to Hubbs. He runs up the right sideline, ooh, and takes a big hit up high at the 19.
He picked that one up inside the 10, and he got back, what, to the 20?
19, 20, yeah.
Okay. Well, now the challenge here is Clarenceville wants to stop Garden City. This is the deepest Garden City has started all game in their own territory.
By far.
A 3 and out here would give momentum back to the kids in the white shirt.
Certainly would. And it looks like they're going to go with this spread out set that they went with on the last drive, where they were successful in scoring a touchdown. Hubbs look around waiting to go. Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle, and that is a 5-yard gain. We got some laundry on the field though. And that's Gian Grande.
Holding.
Yeah, I'm certain that it is holding. Yep, holding on the
well, we'll look at the flag. The flag is what, on the 22?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 10 yards from the spot of the flag, so they're going to lose about 8 yards on that play.
Right.
Holding on the
redo
offense.
first down. It'll be 1st and 18 for Garden City. And this could be dangerous, being back this far. Certainly for the team with the lead. Little screen out to the outside and maybe gains 1. Nah, it looks like no gain to me. Seeger.
Johnson, 81, went in there, broke that up, and it was the first one there. And so it's going to be 2nd down and nasty here.
Yeah, 2nd and 17 here.
Well, they're saying 3rd down,
That
but
shouldn't be
they
3rd down.
Should have lost. Well, Dan's getting kind of old. You got to keep reminding him.
And that's a gain of maybe 3.
Well, they're not back to the original line of scrimmage.
No.
Gian Grande on the ball. They're still short of the 15. Yeah, Dan had a birthday this week, didn't he?
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Really? Has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been a few weeks. I got a birthday coming up on Monday.
Well, we're not celebrating, so forget
No,
it.
that's okay. That's okay. I didn't expect anything. Hubbs hands the ball, or keeps it. Tricked me.
Very conservative play calling down there in the red zone for Clarenceville. Now they're going to have to punt it out of there, and Clarenceville did exactly what they wanted to after scoring that long touchdown. They buried Garden City deep in their own zone with a penalty, and those penalties really hurt. So let's see if they can blast one out of here, and Clarenceville can keep the momentum.
And don't forget about the deep kick by Fife, as well as the good coverage downfield to keep stopping at the 20 instead of a longer return. And here's Hubbs with the punt.
Oh, just got it off.
It's a high one, and it bounces just out of bounds at the 43 of Garden City. So pretty good field position here for Livonia Clarenceville with 5 minutes and 42 seconds left in this half. Let's see if they can make something happen, maybe tie this game up.
Just as Garden City started with their worst field position, Clarenceville Trojans, that team from up there just short of 8 Mile on Middle Belt, one of Garden City's Middle Belt opponents, is going to get the ball at their best field position. And let's see if they come out and do the same thing. Yeah, they're going to put Hogan back under center and a couple receivers to the far side.
Here comes Hogan, hands it off to Hill, and oh, good tackle. Way to get a hand on his foot. He is all kinds of fast, that young man.
I think Coach Fry has decided that we are faster to the outside than Garden City, and Garden City is playing that 3-5. So let's see if that's going to force a defensive adjustment by the Cougars, and see if Coach Fry's right. There's 3 down linemen.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if they just widen out those 5, maybe give them a little more space in the middle, or what they do. Hogan under center, little motion here. Once again, hands off to Hill, and he is grabbed but not taken down. Breaks one tackle and out of bounds after a gain of about 3. Yeah, he is a handful, that young man.
What they have decided is that the outside linebackers are coming across the line of scrimmage, and they think Hill can beat that first player. And if Hill beats that first player, he's gone. If not, he's going to lose a couple yards. But they have confidence in Hill that he can beat that player, the first one. It's like one-on-one in basketball. If you can beat that first player, all of a sudden it's a 5-on-4 game. And the Garden City outside linebackers are coming across, and Hill's beating them. And this has been the last 2 drives.
Yes, and I think they're starting to think that it's going to be a smart idea to put the ball in the hands of a kid that's obviously a playmaker. He's got the speed, and it was interesting because at the beginning of the game they weren't really handing the ball off to him all that much. They had given it to Santoy a few times, and Hogan kept it a few times. They tried throwing the ball, and now I think they're going to what they think is probably the most...
Coaches want to do things, and they practice all summer, and they get these great ideas, and they get tapes, and they go, seriously, they go to clinics, and they've got these great ideas, and then they look at their team, and in high school, I mean, you said 33 players. Well, I counted them when they came in. There was 25 dressed.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Wow.
They had a couple in jerseys, but you don't have a lot of options here, and go with your best player. Same formation, I formation.
Oh, and it's a dive. That was
a great call.
Yeah, they tricked Garden City on that one.
Evan, think about in the pros in college. You get these college quarterbacks go up there and they look at the line of scrimmage, and they start yelling Omaha, Omaha, or kill, 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 and the Lions, and they call the second play.
Yeah.
Well, this is a chess game in the high school level between the coaches. You're not going to change the play now.
Right.
It's what am I calling against? What are you going to do? So this is a coach's chess game.
Hogan gonna throw, lofts it up. And they're gonna call holding.
Well, they could call holding. They could call pushing. He held him, and when he got by him, he pushed him.
They're gonna call something on him though.
And is this 15 yards from the line of scrimmage? Is that the?
I think it is from the line of scrimmage. Yes, and that's pass interference on the defense. That pass was intended for Kubiak, but unable to come up with it.
Well, the chess game goes on. You've seen Coach Fry spread the Cougar defense by running the corners. And then what he did, and he needed a first down, he had him spread, he goes right through the middle of them. Now he says, all right, maybe we can catch them coming across the line of scrimmage and get a receiver deep, and he gets a penalty call. So far, the last 5-10 plays, success goes to Coach Fry.
Yes, he's this drive and the last one, they've really been able to move the ball. Hogan doing a good job of kind of managing what needs to happen. Looks like the refs are having a little bit of a confab right now. They're not really...
Well, these guys probably had to work late and rushed over here tonight to play. And you know. It's good. It's first down, though.
Yeah, 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
4:31 on the clock, 14-7 Garden City, and Clarenceville threatening to tie this one up in the red zone.
Yep. Scrimmaging from the 15-yard line, and that is a run up the center, basically held up there.
Now, Evan, why do you do that? Well, you spread them out. Now, if you touch the get him to run up the middle, you might get him to come back in, and that opens up the outside. So that play, you want to get yardage, but it might set up the next play.
Certainly. And it's just like a pitcher maybe throwing a curveball or something, setting him up for the fastball, or vice versa.
Still a 3-5 for the Cougars. They're sneaking up, though. They're sneaking up.
Hogan to throw, lofts it up in the back corner of the end zone. Almost caught on a diving play by number 5. That's Dooley for...
is that number 10 on the coverage there?
I believe so. That's number 10, Castengay.
Castengay was really didn't see the ball. He was watching the eyes of the intended receiver. When he saw his eyes open up, he just kind of got in front of it. But his back was to the ball the whole time.
It was a nice effort by Dooley to make a play on that ball. That was not an easy play. Hogan under center, 3rd and 10 from the 15. And this is important here. And they hand it off to Hill, who is immediately corralled in the backfield.
Got to be careful. 22 fell on the pile afterwards and could have picked up a late hit.
I was thinking exactly the thing. That's the captain for Garden City, Nick DeHater, number 22, who also plays defensive back, whether it be...
It wasn't dirty by no means, but he was a second late, and you just never know what the guy in the white hat's going to see.
Yeah. Doesn't he know not to wear white? It's after Labor Day.
Well, he's wearing stripes, too, so that says something about his fashion.
Yeah, something.
Field goal attempt.
We got Fife to kick it. Down and bounces.
No good.
No good. So Garden City dodges the bullet there and stops the Trojans at probably the last possible moment from scoring.
Well, once again,
14-7, Garden City over the Trojans.
Once again, sometimes coaches get too smart for their own good. A lot of coaches, and I tell this story a lot. There's a coach in Monroe, Jefferson, at one point, he ran the same play 13 times in a row, and his theory was, you didn't stop at the first 12, what are the odds that you're going to stop at the 13th? And if you didn't stop at the 13th, you knew the 14th time it was coming at you.
Yeah. Garden City going to scrimmage here from the 27-yard line.
Well, Garden City wants to hold the ball, get a couple first downs. They lead 14-7. They'd like to score here, but they certainly don't want to give it up and give it back to Clarenceville and tie it before half.
2nd and 4. Hubbs hands it off up the middle. And that's
Giangrande.
Oh.
He almost, they tried to tackle the ball. Number 52 went for a train ride with him. He grabbed the ball, and Giangrande just reached around. There's Hubbs. But 2:31 on the clock and ticking. Ball's at the 40. Garden City could just get a little score here and kind of put this game away.
Little 2-minute drill, and Hubbs hands it off once again to Giangrande, and unable to get much. I think he maybe lost a half a yard.
Well, he got to the line of scrimmage, and a bunch of angry Trojans pushed him back. You get those Greeks that mad at you. No, it wasn't Greeks, were they? Troy was Troy was across the sea.
Present-day Turkey.
Okay.
So, I didn't think we were going to talk about that today.
Yeah, well, you never know what you talk about.
No, I never do. I talked about handcuffs and other stuff with Phil last time.
They've got to throw a flag on that. Hubbs, and there it is. Hubbs basically turned around and said, "Oh my God, OMG," and just heaved the ball. Yeah. That was intentional grounding. I'm in trouble, and 14 other different variations of that.
Yeah, I'm sure, I know on the cameras we didn't see his eyes, but I'm sure his eyes would have been big as dinner plates there, trying to get that ball out.
Now, if that's intentional grounding, that's also a loss of down.
Yes, I believe it would be. And it looks like the referees are having a little discussion here, unsure.
They didn't call a personal foul against Clarenceville, did they?
Well, I only see the one flag on the field, so I wouldn't think so. No, but I guess we have to have multiple conversations here about what the deal is. Flag's getting picked up. There is no foul on the play.
Well, I'm a Garden City fan, folks, but Garden City just got a break because Hobbs had no intention of that ball. There wasn't a receipt. The closest Garden City player to that was on the sidelines.
Yeah, I lucks out there, I guess. 3rd and 10 for Garden City, and Hubs probably big breath there, not getting the penalty. Under center, hands it off up the middle, stopped after a gain of 2. Giangrande with the carry.
Okay, the clock stopped, $1.36 on it. Again, they're going to get a punt. Probably have a little under a minute to go here. No, they'll have about 1:20 because they stopped the clock here.
So that'll be not very much time, especially if Garden City gets a good punt off.
Don't think this is easy. Remember, they came darn close to blocking the last one, and Garden City. Basically, you know what? I'm sure your daddy told you never give a sucker an easy break, and Garden City is giving Clarenceville an easy break here. They're keeping them in. Clarenceville's 0-3, and you mentioned it. They're not a huge school. They're a big school. They play in C and sometimes B, in the division, depending on their population for that year. But they're a proud school. They're a proud history. There's a little timeout. We'll talk about it. Tim Shaw, especially over the last month with the dunking for Lou Gehrig's disease over there. They have a player, Tim Shaw, that played for Penn State after leaving Clarenceville, who has now got it, ALS, and so they've been in the news that way, but they have a proud history in football, and they're 0-3. They need this game.
Certainly. Hubs to punt, and he gets a good one off. It bounces at the 35 and stops at about the 33. So that's where the Trojans will scrimmage from. 1st and 10 for Livonia Clarenceville.
And that's where the Trojans were when they handed the ball off to Hill, and he beat the whole Garden City team to the left side of their defense and scored.
Yeah, very, very quick and able to just beat everybody. I couldn't believe how fast he was.
Garden City's best players to keep everything into the middle.
Clog it up, bottle it up. They've only completed 1 pass, has Clarenceville. So it'll be interesting to see.
They're back in the shotgun, which they haven't been successful out of.
Hogan steps up to the pocket and is immediately grabbed. Number 70 for Garden City is the first guy I saw grab anybody.
Fox.
And that's Gas. You have Fox too. Fox is
40.
40, yeah.
Well, Hogan, when he gets that ball, he dances around and he holds the ball here. And he holds the ball down by his numbers. And by the time he wants to go bring it up, he's in trouble. You got to get that ball, keep it high, and get rid of it quick. And he's dancing back there too much,
Yep. And one of the guys that I'm sure everybody watches in the NFL is Peyton Manning, and it's always interesting to watch his mechanics because they're so good. And we got a stoppage in play. Timeout, Garden City.
Well, Garden City sees 44 seconds on the clock, and now they're thinking, well, we're marching Clarenceville backwards, and maybe if something happens here, we can pick up a quick score, field goal. If I'm Clarenceville, I'm happy to be down only 7 here. Let's run this clock off and go plan something. Let's not try to force the issue.
Certainly. Yeah, I think that's probably their best bet. They're up by a score. They may or may not have good field position. They should just concentrate on stopping Clarenceville here. Certainly number 22, Hill, because he is a lightning in a bottle. And they don't want to let that lightning out, I'm sure.
I'm not sure if Garden City anybody is as fast as Hill. So if you give Hill, you get Hill one-on-one in the open field, you got to give the advantage to Clarenceville. So,
although he is not lining up in the backfield, he's lining up split out wide in the slot.
They want him to get behind and see if they can get him the ball. They're looking his way.
Yep,
they're going
there he
to
goes.
him. And Hill has got to break off that line and just see if he dare Hogan to overthrow him.
And that's number 42 on the coverage for Garden City, whose number I don't have. Maybe I missed. Oh, it's 12, excuse me. 12, the coverage. That's Murray on Hogan, or on Hill. And he was already a step back 5 yards off the line.
So it's basically, you're going to see Johnson and Hill come to this side now.
That was, well, many planes flying over Garden City.
Usually it's a plane is when Dan's leaving the field. Look at Hill.
Hogan took a shot there on that incomplete pass intended for Dooley down the right sideline, and it'll be 4th and 15 here.
Well, this is why Murray Coach Murray for Garden City took the timeout. He knows he's going to. The 2 plays took 8 seconds off the clock. Now Garden City is going to get a chance to A, run the ball back, and B, throw one in the end zone and try to get a field goal here. So that's why that timeout was at the 44-second mark.
Punt almost blocked by Garden City. Takes a bounce. Hubbs thought about grabbing it. Excuse me, that's not Hubbs. That's number 6, Clark. Thought about picking it up, but didn't. Garden City will scrimmage from their own 38.
26-1 on the clock here in the second quarter. This Western Wayne Athletic Conference Red Division game. Garden City's 2-0 in the conference.
Yep.
Trying to go 3-0. I'm sure we're going to get a schedule here. Our graphics are down, I guess. The schedule is going to get harder. There's some good teams in here, but Garden City, they want to win the division. They want to get in the playoffs.
Certainly, and I think that they have that shot. They win today, puts them in really good position for the rest of the season to get in there. Hubbs rolling out to his right, almost grabbed and throws it. Incomplete, tended for number 81 for Garden City. That's Tinsley.
Hubbs is going to basically have to send a note to the referee that says, I'm throwing this ball away from no receivers to get intentional grounding, because there was nobody there for that pass, and he was on his way down as he threw that ball.
Yeah.
He's gotten away with 2 intentional ground.
Hey, if he gets away with them, I'm sure he'd say something along those lines. Hubbs back to pass. Airs it out down the center of the field. Picked off by Livonia Clarenceville. That's number 3, Bean, playing center field there. Able to pick that one off. 14.2 seconds left here in this first half. Garden City still leads 14-7, but
you got to give Bean credit, because Hubbs had tremendous time there, and he had 6-7 seconds, and Bean stayed with the receiver.
And able to get that one.
Now this is a play that tells you about the coach's personality. If the coach is going to go down deep, and he never gives up, he's a gunslinger. If he's pragmatic, he's just going to take a knee and go.
I feel like here you just gotta, hike the ball, one receiver, let it be Hill, have him run as fast as he can down the field, and just keep it up to him.
You're a gunslinger.
Oh, you better believe it.
All right.
Hogan under center here. Looks like they're probably going to pass up. He's going to kneel down. Not a gunslinger. Pragmatic, practical. So that'll let the clock run down to 0. Garden City still up 14-7 over Clarenceville as we head into halftime. And you can see there for just a second we had the Cougar crazy cam that we have set up down here in Garden City. And there's all the players running off the field. Yeah, there's the Cougar crazy cam. And It's pretty exciting, some of the new technology we've gotten here. We got this wonderful cam.
All right, it's halftime, Evan, and we've had a good game so far. It's 14-7. We should have a good one in the second half.
All right, stick with us for the next half on Omni Edition Sports.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
It's halftime here at Garden City High School. The Garden City Cougars taking on the Clarenceville Trojans. As with me now is Jim Neve. Jimmy Neve, we call him.
Yes.
Because we've known two Jim Neves before him, that being his dad and his grandfather. Jim is the owner of Incorporate Graphics right here in Garden City, located kitty corner across the street from the high school. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Now, you hear us talking about Incorporate all the time on our broadcast because Jim and his folks provide us with all the apparel that the volunteers, the interns, everybody here at Omni Edition Television and GCTV wear. He does that, and first of all, thank you for that.
Oh, no problem.
That is great for us and is great for all of these kids and all these people that volunteer. But that's just like one of the very many things you guys do in this community, and that's why we wanted to talk to you today at halftime. Now, let's talk a little bit about you. You are a Garden City kid, born and bred, right?
Yep, I grew up here, since I was born. My grandfather, who lived down the street here, he was one of the first residents to live in Garden City.
Okay.
Worked for the city his whole life. I just love it here.
And your dad had Stadium Sports over on Ford Road?
Stadium Sports over there on Ford Road, and I basically started doing this when I was about 8. I've been drawing my whole life, so I just basically took over the family business kind of and took it to a different level, I guess.
And you have taken it to a different level because this kind of stuff has just exploded. Technology it used to be silk screening. Silk screening or embroidery, that was it.
I used to sit and hand cut designs and draw them. It would take you hours to get maybe a one color design to look halfway decent. Now I can sit at a computer and make it look like anything you want.
Yeah, now Jim just gave me this, and we're hiding behind here so no one can see my stomach, but this is a great combination. This is applique, and I don't know how well it shows up, but you do something now called direct to print, which is what the camouflage pattern in this is, right?
Yeah, basically the machine will print any image full color with no screens, no setups, one-offs.
Okay.
I can print a shirt full color within 5 minutes.
So anybody can walk in with a decent picture, an image. I guess it doesn't even have to be decent if they don't care.
No.
Any image or flash drive with a JPEG or a
Yep.
PNG or a TIFF on it, anything, and you can just make it into a shirt.
Yep. Or they can let us design it. We can take something that they have their idea with the picture, and I can create something like I normally do and make it look really good.
And we talked about the technology though, but I mean now you can make caps with these embroidering machines that are all driven by computer, right?
Yep.
And do all that embroidery that you do that again used to have to be farmed out or really have some specialty equipment, and you still have specialty equipment, but now it's all technology based.
Yep, and everything we do in-house, from embroidery to applique. We have screen printing, direct to garment. We do banners, stickers, the whole deal.
Anything anybody can imagine.
Yep.
Now, you've had a great relationship with the high school. You've had a really good relationship with Scott Murray and the Garden City Cougar football team. And again, it's amazing when we were kids, if there was, when I was in high school, if you could find one thing with your school name on it or with a West Tiger on it, that was a big deal.
It took us forever to find the West logo for the shirt we do now. So.
And now, you've got as many things as anybody can go buy in the Tiger Shop at Comerica Park for Garden City Cougars.
Yeah, when Scott Murray got the job, I introduced myself. I went out of my way. I didn't know who he was, but you know, him and I have clicked. You know, we've taken this concept of making a college look, you know, like Oregon, or you know, and just make it look as good as it can possibly look.
Yeah.
There's not too many high schools out there doing that.
No, they have one of the most professional looks in the state, probably.
Yes, they do.
Absolutely. And you do more, other than sell him his stuff, you do a lot of work with him and a lot of work with the GCYA as far as donations and I don't want to call it charity work, but fundraising work for these groups.
Yeah, and we give proceeds back from everything we sell to both organizations. On top of that, I will give, you know, the football program discounts on certain things so they can turn around and sell it themselves.
Okay.
Or just so the kids aren't overpaying for certain items. It's more of a look for this school. I graduated here in '89, and I really love the city and this school, so I take care of them.
Well,
That's probably the best way to say it.
One thing you told me once, probably about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, because you kept coming out with new stuff and more stuff and more stuff, and you told me you actually felt bad because you put this pressure on the parents to have to shell out all this money to buy this stuff for these kids because, you know, they want something new every time, and everything you come out with seems to be better than the last thing you did.
I felt bad at first, but now I get, and then when I slow down and don't do it, where's the new stuff? Where's the new stuff? Come on, I need something new. I already have that, so, you know, I keep it going.
Well, and it's a great look.
Yeah.
It's a great look. And you do stuff, you do all kinds of Garden City High School stuff, whether it be for the football team or whether it be GCYA. I mean, you've got all kinds of stuff.
We do everything from the class shirts, we do the varsity jackets, we do most sports.
Right.
You know.
And you've had a lot of success with this East and West stuff, haven't you?
Yes, that was something that, you know, Rob Phillips and I and my dad kind of, you know, kicked around. And I just, when I first opened, I'm like, I'm going to do an East shirt, just for the heck of it, because my dad graduated in '65.
Okay.
It blew up.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted it. So then, obviously, I got a hold of you. Well, you know, because the West, you can't, you know, let the West people not have their shirt.
Right.
That shirt probably outsold the East shirt there for a while.
Yeah, because they closed our building. We're the saddest.
We actually have a new shirt we're working on right now.
Oh,
it's
cool.
kind of in the works, but it's basically a football historical shirt.
Okay.
With the helmets and the
that's
records, and it's in the works. Hopefully
Okay.
by homecoming it's here. So.
All right. Well, that'd be wonderful.
That would be cool. So, I'll show you first.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And you have had some big clients, not just the local stuff that you do. I mean, you've been involved with some big music groups, right?
I've done stuff for Eminem. I've done stuff for Kid Rock. I've done stuff for this one band I deal with, Twisted. They're a mainstay of what I do over there. A lot of concert stuff. Other accounts like 89X is one of my biggest accounts. The Detroit Firefighters. That's a very, very big account that I have that we are very proud that we do for, because they print and sell for disabled firefighters or retired firefighters, and they support those. So we're very proud that we print that stuff for them.
Fantastic. And you actually moved back into Garden City. You had a shop that was, you know, maybe a 7-iron out of town, but you actually moved into Garden City after your business picked up.
We were there for 3 years, and we outgrew it. And I've been looking at this building since it was I think it was a pet store.
Okay.
I kept driving by, going to my partner owns Fanatic U. And I'd go over there and I'd see this pet store. I'm like, Greg, we should look at this. And then when it became available, I'm like, no brainer. Had to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm outgrowing that building already, but I'm not going anywhere. We can expand on that building now.
So and that was one of the reasons you bought that lot.
Yes, and that's what we plan on doing. We're going to probably expand on this building and make it bigger.
Fantastic.
But
well,
it's been great.
We want to thank you for your contribution to GCTV and being our apparel sponsor, if you will, our apparel provider. The guys love everything that you come up with. There's a baseball jersey that you did over in the springtime that the guys absolutely love.
Those came out really good.
And we appreciate everything you do for us and everything you do in the community.
Okay.
All right, it's halftime here at Garden City High School. The Cougars taking on the Clarenceville Trojans. Will have more second half action from Garden City High School right after we watch.
I was the lucky one. When I was drowning in a Lake Michigan rip current, 2 brave strangers in a kayak saved my life. But far too many people aren't that lucky. So what I want to do now is help you avoid rip currents by checking with the National Weather Service or the beach for warnings. If you're caught in the grip of a rip current, flip, float, and follow the current until you can break free. And before you try to save someone else, save yourself by grabbing a flotation device. Learn more by Googling rip current safety.
You've probably received one of these in the mail, the Juror Questionnaire, which may have found its way here. Next time, don't throw it away. Ignoring your summons is illegal, and you could end up in jail. To streamline the juror selection process, the Third Circuit Court Questionnaire is now combined with the summons to create the new Juror Questionnaire and Summons. Just log on and complete the form online, or fill in the questionnaire and mail it back. After all, it's better to be here than in jail.